Good morning, wonderful people. Welcome to the Insights Management, Leadership and Training YouTube channel. Today, let's examine an online article from a gentleman named Jack Truong. He is written on entrepreneur.com about why combining a company culture, as you can see on the podcast screen over there, why combining a company culture with strategy is necessary for lasting business success. Two big words, isn't it? Company culture and business strategy, right? Strategy is one thing, company culture is another thing. How these two interrelate and interplay with one another, we shall see what this gentleman brings as key takeaways. Before we go any further, my channel is best viewed on tablet or laptop because it's a landscape presentation style, screen sharing, training sharing, you name it. Everything is best viewed on a tablet. Phone is too small a device. Okay, let's get started. And this is in line with the current business model. This article was written on August 8th, so just yesterday. It's the most recent one. I do this thought pace series on live as well as on my channel to be up to speed, up to date with the current strategy, current thinking, current mindset. This is so necessary, right? We need to be in pace with what is going on in the world around us, in the world of business, in the world of finance, in all our business endeavors. So let's see. The key takeaways are: business strategy is the vision, the plan, the choices, and the decisions of any company. Culture is the sum of a workplace environment and stretches beyond the formalities of strategy. Culture means it goes even to your personal culture, whichever country you are from, right? But here's the last one. The two are always intertwined. Now, I've highlighted some things which shall go step by step and enhance. The first highlight is this. For years, I've heard people say that culture eats strategy for breakfast, a phrase I have always found frustrating as a business leader. Not only are these words misleading, but they are also perpetuating a dangerous misconception. Strategy and culture are completely dependent on one another. Yet, he ventures to say that more than 90% of C-suite executives fail to understand why and how the two must be integrated in the right way. That's the first takeaway. Okay, let's scroll down. You can read the whole article. I have put it in the description box of this live broadcast. Strategy and culture are always intertwined. This is where many businesses, even I have seen, with my experience even in the Middle East, they get their things wrong, right? They mix up the words, they mix up the definitions, and it all goes south, yeah? What does he say? He says, action without vision wastes time and resources. Vision, aka strategy, without action, aka culture, is just a dream. Of the 300 executives, only 56% said they used an integrated approach to strategy and culture, while 30% said they would put strategy first. Right there off the bat, you can see how mixed up even the leadership is in this context. They don't know which one comes first, which one goes next. See what I mean? So what does an effective integration look like? Well, this is the one highlighted. I found it very interesting. The top 3 category enablers of change are, okay, you could have put 1, 2, 3 here because it's so important. The top 3 categoric enablers of change are tone from the top, leadership. Most leadership is just a namesake. They got promoted, but they have no idea how to drive it from the front. Leadership is driving from the front. Okay, you're alone there. Tone from the top. The tone of the leadership should be tuned in. Communications and incentives or compensation, right? So it is tone from the top, it is communications, and it is incentives or compensation. So these are the 3 effective ways in which you can merge the two, the business strategy and the company culture. Businesses must understand the value of the various skill sets and learning and working styles and perspectives of their workforce, something which I've never found in my entire 33 years of career, then resources must be allocated top down. Again, it's the onus of the leadership. Leadership is not just bossing around folks. You need to take the front. You need to be not borrowing ideas from anyone actually. You have to be enabled enough to be a lone wolf. You're driving from the front. The herd is following you. The infamous 80-20 rule comes into play. 80% of the resources should be allocated to 20% of the activities, specifically those founded on the efficacy of the overall strategy. Now in the red highlight here, right? However, when it's left to HR to foster culture and marketing and leadership teams alone to handle strategy, there is little to no shared dialogue about the holistic vision for the company. HR, typical, right? In these instances, essential aspects of businesses suffer, including the buy-in and collaboration and cross-functional communication within the organization, within departments, within the team leaders and the people who are working. It is the role of the leadership. Once again, the onus is on leadership. It is the role of the leadership to integrate strategy and culture and then to enable and drive the change. Next important point he brings up is strategy must be developed based on core strengths of its existing culture. This existing being the key word I see here. Most people ignore their existing cultures. Most people ignore their existing country cultures. This is weird. You do not have to copy paste all the Western civilization, okay? You can be proud of whichever culture you are in. Integrate your existing culture even in the country, even in the race, religion, etc. But you must bring that to the corporate environment, right? And you should take the core strengths. He gives an example of Microsoft there. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, understood how to motivate and unite the Microsoft's workforce, engineers, developers, and programmers to make Microsoft a better place to work. During his tenure as the CEO, Nadella minimized the then cutthroat, arrogant culture to heighten the workforce's more explorative, empathetic growth mindset. Big words, but they are very relevant to 2023. Just you can read that any number of times, okay? The then cutthroat, arrogant culture. Most corporate cultures are arrogant. They think they know it all just because of some fancy mission statement. This is a big issue. They don't grow. And then you wonder where is the return on investment. And he encouraged more explorative and empathetic growth mindset. Big talk these days in corporate circles about empathetic leadership. Well, this is what he did actually. This is what the CEO of Microsoft did. To best understand the purple highlight now, to best understand where the company's core strengths lie and how much upskilling may be required, leaders must run diagnostics on the culture. How many companies of you who are listening run diagnostics? You're scared, isn't it? If you run diagnostics, you'll get a very lame ass result. Then the symptoms and limitations can be alleviated. The sources of productivity and innovation can be prioritized. A common language, there's the key one again. A common language is essential for honing the key mindsets and concepts. The mindset has to be and concepts have to be aligned, yes? This language might include values, traits, value propositions, business models, and capabilities. All of this yellow highlight is what I bring through the critical thinking workshop, by the way. The common language. Yeah. Next is this yellow highlight. The lead and engage the key drivers of change. These individuals may not be speaking from the C-suite, the common people of the company. Okay, ones whom you ignore, thinking this such and such has no leadership qualities. That's highly arrogant of you, by the way. But serve as the change agents for the company. These passionate advocates should be present at all levels being key there, and represent the model behaviors for the evolution of the culture. People are not evolving fast enough. Times are, technologies, but people are still in the old baggage. So are the companies, many of them. Four types of change agents are essential. The purple highlight now over here. Four types of change agents are essential to the process. Pride builders are master motivators. Again, I've just finished and uploaded the 16 Myers-Briggs indicators, how it is built into the critical thinking workshop on my channel. You can go through that and tie that, whatever I have told that material, to this purple highlight. You'll see the commonalities. Pride builders are master motivators. Exemplars act as respected role models. Networkers are hubs of internal personal communication, and early adopters are earnest, curious enthusiasts for change. People don't even know what this is. Most of you reading this or listening to this won't even know what these terms are, especially in India. What do you know of these terms? Any company, CEO, blah, blah, HR listening to this. What do you know of this stuff? How much are you implementing this? Forget implementing it. Do you even know what these words mean? By modeling these attributes, the change agents help spotlight and hone the strengths of the company-wide culture. Now that's how you integrate company culture with a business strategy. CEO, Reed Hastings. Okay, first talk. Culture must change and e-commerce strategy. This becomes vital to survive in such a competitive environment. The view of Netflix. CEO Reed Hastings of Netflix took an interest in the behaviors of Netflix workers, cultivating an environment of quote, freedom with family. Regarding expenses such as Netflix has only one policy, in Netflix's best interest. Hastings credits this policy for the shared trust being the key. How many of you leaders are having a shared trust environment with your team, with your company? Question you need to ask yourselves. Shared trust. Hastings credits this policy for the shared trust that helped the company pivot successfully, as the freedom offered by Netflix has fostered a culture of loyalty, curiosity, enthusiasm amongst its employees. People talk of attrition all the time. All these HR people. You keep losing people all the time. You keep firing people all the time. What's wrong with you? You need to have your head examined. This is what is required, okay? Successful companies are already doing it. Last, we shall end with this. Microsoft, Netflix, and Best Buy are prime examples when leadership understood the critical equal importance of strategy and culture when changing the company's trajectory. If you're at the top of the rung of the ladder, if you're the head of the company, and if you want to change the strategic growth and trajectory, you need to know this and you need to study these examples of Microsoft, Netflix, and Best Buy, for example. The market capitalization of these companies had a step change increase from the static baselines before the change. This is the gentleman who has written it. I think he is even on LinkedIn. So thank you, Mr. Jack Truong, for a lovely article published. I guess it shows your years and years of experience in this, 30 plus years of experience. So I'll leave you guys with this much for now. Okay? Think about this. Think about strategy in the way you want to implement it, please. Indian leaders especially. Such archaic old ways you guys have. You need to do some critical thinking workshops in your company.